Hey everyone, wanted to do a book review today, something I haven't done before, but I read a lot of books, so it kind of makes sense to break them down and just show you where my raw material comes from. When I say raw material, it's everything that I read. Milo, stop squeaking that toy. It's everything that I read, everything I listen to goes into the raw material pile up in here. And that's where I'll draw inspiration from videos and things like that. So this book review is about the waste makers, Vance Packard. He wasn't in academia. He was an author. He was a lot of things, Vance Packard. He was mainly an author. But he wasn't in academia, so when he cites things, he cites other authors, which is something people in academia know not to do. So you can tell straight away whether it's literary or, you know what I mean, whether it's been cited by academia or not. This has not, but nevertheless, it's a brilliant book on what he's named planned obsolescence. So we all know what planned obsolescence is. We just don't know what it's called. It's when a product you buy is only made to last long enough for the next one to come out for you to buy the next product. You'll notice that with iPhones, with cars, with everything made. You'll notice that Grandma's fridge is probably still running and she bought it in like 58. Her freezer's still running, her iron still works. Anything Grandma owns still works because a lot of the stuff that Grandma owns was made in Japan. And manufacturing in Japan, especially in the mid-1900s, was absolutely fantastic. They did not subscribe to planned obsolescence, as Vance Packard says. They believed in absolute quality, and it shows. Like, my car was made in 1975 and it drives like a brand new car. They just don't, things made in Japan they just still work because they did not subscribe. It's against their culture. Planned obsolescence is against the Japanese culture, and it shows in the manufacturing, and it shows in the Japanese products that are still working today in 2023. I'll just put my specs on to read this. So as you can see, printed in September 1960. And look at the prefix to the book. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'll read it to you. To my mother and father, who never confused the possession of goods with the good life. Now, isn't that the best prefix to a book you've ever read? That's just amazing. So I'll just highlight some footnotes I made in the book, things that were profound, or the earliest citations of this planned obsolescence term that he uses. So this footnote's not talking about planned obsolescence, it's talking about automation affecting the future. You know it's written in 58 because he's talking, one of the first things he mentions is there's one day we'll have a machine in the kitchen that will wash our dishes for us. So you know straight away where you're headed with this book, with how it's read, and even look at the font. The font's hard to read. The font's old school. That's why I need these. So talking about automation in 3 years has wiped out nearly 3 million jobs in the industrial production, forcing many people to find jobs in the service industry, male or female. So this footnote's about how companies have now started hiring psychologists to learn the behaviour of consumers, appealing mainly to women. Even in 1958, he foresaw that women were the decision makers of the house, and they chose which car to buy and which colour mainly. This footnote here mentions the invention of single-use containers, and that the company that made the single-use containers, their slogan was "Everything's made to be thrown away." So he saw that as a landfill problem back in 58. This is an interesting footnote. It's a bit lighthearted. It's about a potato peeler. Now the handle of the potato peeler was Bakelite and was the colour of a potato. So housewives were more likely to throw the potato out with the potato peeler out with the potato skins and buy another one. And that's accelerated obsolescence, accelerating a consumer to buy more products. Just by having the handle, Bakelite, and the exact colour of a potato skin, it's more likely to be thrown out. So as you can see in this chapter, he thoroughly describes planned obsolescence. He talks about the automotive industry, how the body changes, the shell changes shape once a year, and they add 2 extra paint colours per year to appeal to different consumers. Again, he mentions that they hire psychologists to find the literary numbers on who buys cars and who chooses them, and he basically says that women make the decisions. So this is written in 58, and he's making it loud and clear that women are making the financial decisions in the household. So this is an earlier citation of planned obsolescence. A guy called J. George wrote an article about it 20 years earlier, so 1938, and he called it progressive obsolescence, where obsolescence is efficiency, economy, style and taste, and made to be thrown out. Again, another term for it that he cites from an article in January 1936 from Leon Cully. He named planned obsolescence outmoded durability, so it's another reference to the same kind of thing. He mentions the automotive industry again because I think he was from Detroit. So he mentions that one of the strongest yet least recognized secrets of planned obsolescence is a new color of a car every year, and that's how to outmod a $4,000 vehicle every 2 years and get people buying new cars. Styling department manager for General Motors in 1958 was W. Walker, and he was originally a women's fashion designer. So there's a key point to what Vance is talking about women making the financial decisions in the home in 1958. Here's a brief into the short life of products. My mother had the same washing machine for 20 years. She had the same refrigerator now when I grew up. Now in my 30s, I own my own appliances. I'm on my 3rd vacuum, 2nd dryer and 4th washing machine in 1958. And last but not least, it's another reference to the New York Herald Tribune, who named it dynamic obsolescence. So there's another key word. That's near the end of the book. So, as I said, that wraps up this book review, guys. Vance Packards, Planned Obsolescence. It's just interesting to learn about these things. It's interesting to read a book written in 1958 and just have the kind of cognitive ability to think about what he's talking about and the words he's choosing to use in 1958. Now, this is applicable in 2023. You can't talk me out of it. Thanks, guys.